just prove to the industry that you are capable of providing the service that you say you are. And don't give up. Build your confidence so that you compete against industry.
Hi, I'm Guy Dankaz. Today it gives me a pleasure to be talking with Janice Larocque, who is the founder and president of Spirit Staffing and Consulting firm from Calgary. I understand that the firm was founded in 1998, and it provides services, both short-term and long-term staffing services to small business as well as to multinationals that are working in the Western provinces as well as in BC. Am I correct?
Correct.
Good. And I also hear some rumors about you. Apparently, you're quite the inspiring person. In fact, I know that you've received, you and the company have received numerous awards. I also know that you're on a list, a short list for numerous awards again in 2015. Spirit Staffing has just received the Aboriginal Business Award from CAMC for the year of 2015. Well, congratulations.
Thank you. It's really rewarding. The company's worked very hard to get where we're at today. The staff are motivated, and they're really finding it a pleasure working with all the different people involved. And it just shows that what they're doing is correct, and it's helping everyone.
I think a lot of people agree with you there. Let's take that and go back in time a little bit. Let's go back 17 or 18 years. You've started the business 17 years ago, so perhaps go back 18 years. And let me ask you, what motivated you to start this business?
Well, I used to manage an Aboriginal Career and Employment Center, and my role was to build relationships with corporate Calgary to find Aboriginal people opportunities. And we had staffing agencies approaching us to see if we could help them find Aboriginal staff. And yet at the same time, they weren't being sent to corporate Calgary. They normally were given positions on the outskirts of town, which were paying less. So I decided that I would open a staffing agency and give Aboriginal people equal opportunity to corporate Calgary. So with that in mind, I opened up in 1998, and we've been moving ahead ever since.
Is the firm strictly doing Aboriginal placement, or is it doing the other people also?
Well, we don't discriminate. We've opened the doors to diversity. So we put forward the best qualified candidate. Although because we have a high pool of Aboriginal people, if we were to place an order, if a company were to place an order, we would normally at least provide at least one Aboriginal candidate. Therefore, they're at least making it to the interview stage.
That's great. I think we should all learn from that recipe. Congrats. Listen, as a business woman, what hurdles have you had to face over those 17 years?
Well, when I initially started the business, I actually applied to go to an Aboriginal entrepreneur program. And at that time, I was turned away. They said that I didn't have a viable business concept. So I had to go through other means. And when it came to the financial part of the business, I couldn't go through mainstream to get financing. I had to go to the Alberta Women Enterprises, which helped me gratefully. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be able to have got the financing. But the other challenge we had was that there was no Aboriginal staffing agencies. Everybody assumed we were not for profit. They were ordering staff, not realizing they had to pay for fee for service. So that was a challenge, just educating corporate Calgary that we are no different than any other staffing agency in Canada. So it took a while to get over that hurdle.
How are the banking or the banking sector looking at a firm such as yours today?
Well, I think we've moved forward, tremendously. As I mentioned before, I was having quite a challenge. I did actually open my bank account on the First Nations Reserve. I had known some bank managers there who supported the business. My account is still on the First Nations Sitina, and I just found that things have gotten easier, but I know when it came to my receivables for First Nations, they weren't flexible and they wouldn't leverage them. So that was part of the challenge. But now they look at them straight across the board with other companies that we work with, and they take them into consideration.
Mm. So the reputation and the track record has made some changes.
Yeah, they're actually working closer with First Nations, I believe, and Métis communities.
Yeah. So let me go back to staffing. As we all know, there's many change makers happening in the world of the workplace. Uh, we can think of longevity. We can think of internet and connectivity. We can think of the rapid advancements of technology and so on. How do you see all these changes affecting perhaps your business or the clientele that you're serving uh, from your business in the next decade?
Well, since we've opened, technology has really evolved. I know we used to manage our database on an Excel spreadsheet. We have new systems that we're using where we have over 20,000 resumes that we can manage. The only challenge we find is some of the rural communities don't have this strong technology. So we have to go the extra mile to make sure that they're receiving the broadcasts for employment opportunities. And we may have to do that through individuals or faxes, just because they don't have internet. So technology on one hand is really superior for what we do to manage databases, but when you're trying to get to the real communities, it can be a real challenge.
The various changes are happening in the marketplace. Let it be globalization, let it be longevity in employment, let it be interconnectivity, and so on and so forth. Uh, are major changers in the workplace. So, how does those changes affect the need for employees?
Well, I think you'd have to look at what segment of the market you're looking at. For the industrial division that we have, it's quite it has changed over the years. At one time, when people were looking for the entry level jobs, there was a lot of them. When the foreign programs were incorporated into Canada, for some reason, the people that were less educated, maybe criminal records, had a lot of opportunity, where it was changed out and they didn't have as much opportunity. Like, for example, for people that had barriers, we were able to place them um, painting rocks so that they could put them on the houses. And those kind of jobs are all phased out. So I think it depends on which market. For office administration, technology's evolved. The software requirements in terms of this software they use is very um, driven by the corporations and the software technology they use. Um, so depending on what market you're in, it's really a challenge.
Companies are often looking for professional or trade designation and so on and so forth. But over and beyond that, do you find that the corporations are also looking for other skills, soft skills, and communication skills, for example, being able to collaborate, possibly have a mindset towards growth?
Well, education definitely is one of the key factors, but when companies are hiring, I think they're looking for loyalty, commitment, flexibility. They want to make sure that the people they're hiring have the capability to do the job, but also the capability to advance within the company. They prefer to keep their talent, and traditionally it was 5 years that people were staying at positions. And I think now with the economy, people may revisit what's going on within the industry and make more of a commitment to the companies that they're working for.
Hmm. So, in a world of rapid innovation because of technology and so on, how do you think young people that are listening to you uh, should prepare themselves? What would you advise them to do?
Well, I really believe education is the key to success. Um, at one time, grade 12 was acceptable in the workplace, and then 2 year diplomas were acceptable. In today's environment, a two-year diploma is not strong enough. We really encourage them to get their university degrees. But with that, they need to get some experience. So we really encourage doing co-ops, summer employment within their fields. When you're competing with a lot of people that have graduated, it seems to me that the academics come into play, that volunteer experience come into play, and then also the experience within the field. So if somebody is going after their dream, they should really try blend it and have the education, the volunteer as a background in order to get the positions.
So develop all, in addition to developing their art skills, also develop their soft skills.
Right, because when you're shortlisting, and like I say, if you have 30 resumes for the one position, you're going to look for people that have a roundabout experience while they're in school.
Yeah. So in your business of staffing, how do you see the evolution in the next decade?
Well, if things are right now in the Alberta economy, things are really slow and there's a lot of people being laid off. I think that in terms of salary, the expectations may have to come down. There's going to be a lot of competitive people that are applying for the same positions. I'm not too sure what the other segment of the provinces are doing, but I know as time goes by, companies are expecting people to be stronger and have more technology backgrounds so they can diversify in the departments.
Mm-hmm. As an Aboriginal business owner, what influence do you think CAMC has had in helping you grow your business?
Well, I know that we've been with CAMC probably for about 5 years. And from that, we're able to promote the company. And we were actually fortunate enough because United Rentals found us as a supplier, and we were able to put in a bid for the RFP, which we successfully made it through. So we've been quite lucky in working with United Rentals in our Calgary and our Edmonton branch. So from that, we've been able to get companies who are interested in working with us, and with some success.
One last question. As a business owner who has had to live many hurdles in the last 17 years, if a woman is looking to express her leadership in a predominantly male work environment, what would you advise her to do?
That's a really good question. In fact, I belong to an entrepreneur group for women, and they have that challenge. And I think we came to the conclusion that just prove to the industry that you are capable of providing the service that you say you are, and don't give up. Build your confidence so that you compete against industry. Because again, women have the same potential as any other person. And sometimes we can outperform, but at the same time, I think we're equal and that everybody should have the same opportunity.
On that note, we thank you very kindly. Is there anything else that you would like to cover?
I guess I just want to thank everybody for supporting Spirit Staffing and even yourself for doing this interview. I really believe it's important that we have people that believe in what we do, and I think moving forward that all we can do is continue helping Aboriginal people to find the employment opportunities that they're looking for.
Well, perhaps another time we could do another interview in the context of the Women's Sharing Circle.
That would be excellent.
Well, all the best, Janice, and I thank you very kindly. Goodbye.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very kindly, and today we were with Janice Larocque, President of Spirit Staffing and Consulting, Inc. Thank you.